After retiring from hockey in 2018, I had no clue who I was anymore. I was caught between identities as a high performance athlete and an ordinary person with absolutely no sense of direction. When you retire from sports, it can feel like you lose part of yourself, maybe even your entire identity. I know that's what it felt like for me. But wouldn't you rather feel motivated and excited about what's next, better yet, even prepared for your future? Whether you're a retired athlete like myself or at the peak of your career, I want to share with you how investing in your personal development can actually ease your anxiety and fuel your excitement for your next chapter. Personal development is a continuous learning path that over time will provide you with new opportunities for you to showcase the skills that you've been learning to progress your growth and then execute on them by providing value and a positive impact on others. So by committing to my personal growth journey, I went from experiencing feelings of depression, weight gain, having no excitement or care for my work at all, and honestly just mindlessly going through life. But then by focusing on my personal development, I then became happy, I felt inspired, I started creating value and actually seeing that value realized by becoming a better version of myself. So now that I've gone through this process and I'm still growing as we speak, I want to help you get out of that lost and lonely state if that's the spot that you're in. Or better yet, teach you the ways that you can ensure that you never get there in the first place by kickstarting your development journey with 3 valuable questions. Before I jump in, if you're liking this video so far and want to join me on my journey to learn, grow, and thrive, you can join the team by subscribing to my channel. So what are these 3 key questions that are really going to help you take that first step to working on your personal development beyond sport? Well, the first question is, how do you love to spend your time? Ask yourself outside of sport, what do you love to do? The way I think about this question is that I think about what excites me and what energizes me. So for me, as I reflect on this question, travel comes to mind. I'm also a big foodie. I love exploring new places and having quality time with friends and family. And of course, spending time out in nature, especially with my dog. So those are some things that I love to do. And knowing that, I'm going to take this newfound time that I have outside of sport because I'm not constantly training. Now I can start, exploring new trails with my dog, trying new food places, visiting new countries, right? And see what kind of comes from those experiences. Now, you might not understand what's the goal of this, right? What is the goal of spending time the way you love and the way that energizes you? Well, the goal right now is to actually discover yourself outside of sport. You're trying to learn who else you are. So by spending time in positive environments, you're actually going to be able to feel more motivated and more inspired. And that is what's actually going to help you focus on yourself so that you can then discover yourself. They go hand in hand. Now, the second question you should ask yourself is, what is the one thing that your friends and family would come to you for? Now, this might be a little challenging to think about. So the way that I actually went about it is turn the tables onto your friends and family. Ask them what they think your greatest strengths are. And like I said, what is that one thing that they would come to you for over anyone else? So the way that I think about this one is I'm always the type of person that my friends come to for advice. So when it comes to making big life decisions or, for example, choosing between jobs or academic programs, or even the small things too, right? Like who they're dating, who they're not dating, all of those decisions, I seem to be very much involved as a person that can help them think through their decisions. So that tells me that I'm very much a soundboard. I'm strong at listening to people, at helping them think through their thoughts and actually articulating it in a logical way. Now, that's something I didn't realize on my own. Like I said, I went out, I asked these questions to my friends and family and was able to piece this together. For yourself, though, maybe you're someone when, in times of need, like myself, people call you right away. You're that go-to person. Or maybe you're a person that they just like to spend time with, kick back and laugh with. And that's great too. Everybody needs those people. Either way, my point is that everyone has some sort of like skill or just genuine, unique personality trait that comes out of them that other people value. But the thing is, the caveat here is that we often don't even realize it ourselves, right? It just because all you're doing is being who you are. So to you, it's your nature. But let me tell you, if you're able to identify that unique trait, that's something you can capitalize on, and not in a malicious way. I just mean in the sense that you're able to focus on that strength so that you can create greater value and stronger impact for people in a positive way. So ask your friends and family what they think about your strengths, why they've come to you, and who knows, you might be surprised by the answer, right? You might end up with answers that you did not expect at all. And if you're trying to figure out, well, when should I ask these questions? Well, when's the next time you're seeing your friends and family? It's that simple. You don't have to overthink it, or even send it in a text if you like. Either way works, whatever you're comfortable with. The final question I would ask myself, and this might seem a little bit dark at first, but I promise you it'll make sense in a minute. Ask yourself, what do you want people to say at your funeral? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is it's actually super insightful because one, it reminds you that the clock is always ticking. We are all on this earth for a limited time. And I know, at least for me, that tells me that I want to make the most of my time here. And I hope you do too. So think about what you want to be known for, because the second thing it teaches you is it teaches you what you want to be remembered for. And knowing that one, time is finite, and two, you can determine how you are remembered for to an extent, of course, that would tell you, okay, what do I want people to say at my funeral? So funny enough, I actually thought about this question, and I actually found a website way back where I was able to sort of form this like fictional journey of your life, and it sort of writes your obituary based on your quiz answers. And it really put me in this place where I gained some sort of new perspective because it helped me think about, wow, okay, this actually how I would be remembered by. And I actually realized that the things I put down weren't what I really wanted, right? Like I didn't want to be remembered simply as someone who was a hard worker and a go-getter. I want to be remembered as someone who had a positive impact on others, who helped people. And I'm not talking about changing the world here. I'm just talking about helping people, making a dramatic difference in their lives, even if it's a handful of people. And so what that taught me is I have to spend more time creating value, creating content like this video, so that even if I can help one or two people, I'm getting closer and closer to realizing that impact. So by answering this question for yourself, you might also learn something similar like I did, that, you know what, you might not actually be on the right path that's for you, but this is all part of the self-discovery journey. And that's what makes this next chapter so exciting, right? You can analyze your life and say, okay, if this is where I want to be and this is where I am today, and these are the things that I'm doing, this doesn't look like the trajectory for me to get from point A to point B. So something needs to change. With these three questions, the first being, how do you love to spend your time? The second, what is the one thing that your friends and family would come to you for? And the third, what do you want people to say at your funeral? By answering those questions, you'll begin to lay the foundation for your personal development journey. So instead of feeling lost in life, you will feel excited to embark on these new paths. Instead of feeling unprepared for your next chapter, you'll feel curious to discover your identities. And that's what is actually going to allow you to figure out what you want to do after sport. So you'll come to realize that there's actually so much more to who you are and so much more to your life beyond your athletic career. Even though it's such a vital part of who you are, it's not all that you are. And that's really the key lesson in this entire video. I want you to understand, if there's anything aside from these three questions, I want you to understand that life after sport doesn't mean sports are done and you're no longer an athlete. That's not what it means. It's always going to be part of you. But you have to recognize that that's not the only thing that makes you you, and that's not the only thing that makes you valuable and appreciated to other people, in this world. You just need to go find it. And I hope these questions will help you kind of start that journey to getting there. So take some time, sit at a coffee shop or at a park, grab your phone, grab a journal, whatever you like to do, and just think through these 3 questions. And feel free to share your answers down in the comments. I'd love to be part of your journey too. And if you're really struggling to get out of a negative sort of headspace and you can't really see anything positive for yourself beyond sport, then I will have a great quote for you that can really help remind you about everything that makes you you. Don't give up because of one bad chapter in your life. Keep going, right? Your story doesn't end here. That's simply a reminder that this isn't the end unless you tell yourself it's the end. It's very much a mindset game. It's the end of a chapter, but not the end of the book. And I know it's so hard to think about, especially when you're in your low points, but I want to reinforce this message because I promise you that you have what it takes to get out of this negative space and into a positive and happy and motivating and inspiring one. That's all I have for you guys. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this one and you're looking forward to more, then subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next one. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next video.